South Asia is a region of immense geopolitical importance, home to some of the world's fastest-growing economies, as well as some of its most intractable conflicts. South Asia is a region in constant flux. The region is home to a complex web of relationships, with countries often vying for influence and power. At the heart of this geopolitical chessboard lies Bangladesh. A country of over 160 million people, Bangladesh is strategically located at the crossroads of South and Southeast Asia. In recent years, Bangladesh has emerged as a key player in the region, as it seeks to balance its relationships with its larger neighbors, India and China. The relationship between India and China is particularly complex. The two countries are rivals for regional dominance, and their relationship is often characterized by mistrust and suspicion. The rivalry between India and China has only intensified in recent years, as both countries have sought to expand their influence in the region. The other countries in the region, such as Pakistan, Myanmar, and Nepal, are also important players in the South Asian geopolitical chessboard. These countries are often caught in the middle of the rivalry between India and China, and they must carefully navigate their relationships with both powers. The geopolitical landscape of South Asia is constantly evolving. The recent change in government in Bangladesh, the ongoing Rohingya crisis, and the growing influence of China are just some of the factors that are shaping the region's future. Bangladesh is a country on the rise. With a rapidly growing economy and a young and vibrant population, Bangladesh is poised to become a major player on the global stage. However, Bangladesh also faces a number of challenges, including poverty, corruption, and climate change. Bangladesh's recent turn towards Pakistan and China has raised concerns in India. India has long seen Bangladesh as a close ally, and it is wary of China's growing influence in the region. India is also concerned about the security of its Siliguri corridor, a narrow strip of land that connects India's northeast to the rest of the country. The Siliguri corridor is particularly vulnerable to disruption, as it is surrounded by Bangladesh on three sides. Bangladesh's growing ties with China are part of a broader trend of China's increasing influence in South Asia. China has been investing heavily in infrastructure projects in the region as part of its Belt and Road Initiative. China has also been strengthening its military ties with countries like Pakistan and Myanmar. Bangladesh's foreign policy is driven by a desire to maintain its independence and sovereignty. Bangladesh is determined to avoid becoming a pawn in the rivalry between India and China. To that end, Bangladesh has sought to pursue a policy of neutrality, maintaining good relations with both countries. Bangladesh's future trajectory will depend on a number of factors, including its domestic political stability, its economic growth, and the regional security environment. India is the largest and most powerful country in South Asia. With a population of over 1.4 billion people and a rapidly growing economy, India is a rising global power. India has long sought to play a leading role in the region, but its ambitions have often been thwarted by its rivalry with Pakistan. The rivalry between India and Pakistan is one of the most enduring conflicts in the world. The two countries have fought 3 wars since independence in 1947, and their relationship remains tense. The main point of contention between the two countries is the disputed territory of Kashmir. India is also wary of China's growing influence in the region. India sees China as a strategic competitor, and it is concerned about China's growing military presence in the Indian Ocean. India has responded to China's rise by strengthening its own military capabilities and by forging closer ties with countries like the United States, Japan, and Australia. India's foreign policy is driven by a desire to secure its borders, promote economic development, and enhance its international standing. India has made significant progress in recent years in achieving these goals, but it still faces a number of challenges, including poverty, corruption, and environmental degradation. India's future trajectory will depend on its ability to overcome these challenges and to manage its complex relationships with its neighbors. China is the world's second-largest economy and a rising global power. China's growing economic and military might has led to a more assertive foreign policy in recent years, particularly in its neighborhood. China's growing influence in South Asia is a cause of concern for India, which sees China as a strategic competitor. China has been investing heavily in infrastructure projects in South Asia as part of its Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative is a massive infrastructure development project that aims to connect China to the rest of Asia, Africa, and Europe. China has also been strengthening its military ties with countries like Pakistan and Myanmar. China's growing influence in South Asia is driven by a number of factors, including its economic interests, its strategic rivalry with India, and its desire to secure access to vital sea lanes. China is also seeking to counter the influence of the United States in the region. China's actions in South Asia have been met with a mixed response. Some countries, like Pakistan, have welcomed China's investment and support. Others, like India, are wary of China's growing influence and see it as a threat to their own interests. China's future role in South Asia is likely to be a major factor in shaping the region's future. Section 5. Pakistan, the beleaguered ally. Pakistan is a country of over 200 million people. It is located in a strategically important region, at the crossroads of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East. Pakistan has a long history of military rule, and the military continues to play a powerful role in Pakistani politics. Pakistan has a complex relationship with India. The two countries have fought 3 wars since independence in 1947, and their relationship remains tense. The main point of contention between the two countries is the disputed territory of Kashmir. Pakistan is a close ally of China. China is Pakistan's largest trading partner and a major source of military and economic assistance. China has invested heavily in infrastructure projects in Pakistan, including the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. CPEC is a network of roads, railways, and pipelines that will connect China to the Arabian Sea through Pakistan. Pakistan is also a major recipient of U.S. military and economic assistance. However, relations between the two countries have been strained in recent years, due to U.S. concerns about Pakistan's support for terrorist groups. Pakistan faces a number of challenges, including terrorism, economic instability, and political instability. The country is also facing a growing water crisis. Section 6. The Rohingya Crisis, a humanitarian disaster. The Rohingya crisis is a major humanitarian disaster that has had a significant impact on the geopolitical landscape of South Asia. The Rohingya are a Muslim minority group who have lived in Myanmar for centuries. In recent years, the Rohingya have been subjected to systematic persecution by the Myanmar government, which has denied them citizenship and basic rights. In 2017, the Myanmar military launched a brutal crackdown on the Rohingya, forcing hundreds of thousands to flee their homes. Over 700,000 Rohingya fled to neighboring Bangladesh, where they live in overcrowded and unsanitary refugee camps. The Rohingya crisis has strained relations between Bangladesh and Myanmar. Bangladesh has accused Myanmar of genocide, while Myanmar has denied any wrongdoing. The crisis has also led to increased tensions between India and Bangladesh, as India has deported Rohingya refugees back to Myanmar. The Rohingya crisis is a complex and intractable problem. There is no easy solution, and the international community has been slow to respond. The crisis is likely to continue to have a destabilizing impact on the region for years to come. The Rohingya crisis is a reminder of the human cost of conflict and the importance of protecting the rights of all people. Section 7. The Belt and Road Initiative, China's Grand Strategy. The Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, is a massive infrastructure development project that aims to connect China to the rest of Asia, Africa, and Europe. The BRI is a key part of China's foreign policy and is seen as a way for China to expand its economic and political influence around the world. The BRI has been met with mixed reactions from the international community. Some countries have welcomed the investment and development that the BRI brings. Others have expressed concerns about China's growing influence and the potential for the BRI to lead to debt traps. The BRI is having a significant impact on South Asia. China has invested billions of dollars in infrastructure projects in the region, including roads, railways, ports, and pipelines. These projects are helping to boost economic growth and development in South Asia, but they are also raising concerns about China's growing influence. India, in particular, is wary of the BRI. India sees the BRI as a way for China to encircle India and to challenge India's dominance in the region. India has refused to participate in the BRI, and it has been critical of Chinese investment in projects in its neighborhood, such as the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. The BRI is a long-term project that is likely to have a profound impact on the geopolitical landscape of South Asia. Section 8. The Future of South Asia, a region on the brink. The future of South Asia is uncertain. The region faces a number of challenges, including poverty, inequality, climate change, and terrorism. The rivalry between India and Pakistan also continues to pose a threat to regional stability. However, there are also reasons for optimism. South Asia is home to a young and growing population, and the region's economies are growing rapidly. If South Asian countries can overcome their challenges and work together, the region has the potential to become a global powerhouse. The future of South Asia will depend on a number of factors, including the ability of the region's countries to manage their internal challenges, the evolution of the relationship between India and China, and the role of external actors, such as the United States. One of the biggest challenges facing South Asia is the threat of climate change. The region is home to some of the most vulnerable countries in the world to the effects of climate change, including rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and melting glaciers. Climate change is already having a significant impact on South Asia, and these impacts are only going to intensify in the years to come. Another major challenge facing South Asia is the threat of terrorism. The region is home to a number of terrorist groups, including Al-Qaeda, the Islamic State, and the Taliban. These groups pose a threat to the security of South Asian countries, as well as to the stability of the region as a whole. The future of South Asia will be shaped by how the region's countries choose to address these challenges. Section 9. Conclusion: the stakes are high. The geopolitical landscape of South Asia is complex and constantly evolving. The region is home to a number of rising powers, as well as some of the world's most intractable conflicts. The stakes are high for the countries of South Asia as well as for the rest of the world. The rivalry between India and China is likely to be a major factor in shaping the future of the region. The two countries are engaged in a strategic competition for influence in South Asia, and their rivalry has the potential to lead to conflict. The ongoing Rohingya crisis is another major challenge facing the region. The crisis has created a humanitarian disaster, and it has also strained relations between Bangladesh and Myanmar. The international community has been slow to respond to the crisis, and it is unclear what the long-term solution will be. The Belt and Road Initiative is another factor that is likely to have a significant impact on the region. The BRI is a massive infrastructure development project that has the potential to transform the economies of South Asia. The future of South Asia is uncertain. However, the region has the potential to become a global powerhouse if its countries can overcome their challenges and work together. The world is watching South Asia closely. The region's future will have a profound impact on the global balance of power.